Good day to all. Today's topic is classification of complexometric titration. It is classified into direct titrations, back titrations, replacement or displacement titrations, alkalimetric titrations, indirect titrations. We'll see in detail. Direct titrations. In direct titrations, the metal ion is titrated directly with the complexing agent, that is ligand. This is the sample solution. Suppose this is metal, sample metal which we wanted to analyze. Ligand, let it be EDTA. Whenever ligand is added directly to the metal, then metal react with ligand and form a complex. Metal plus ligand will result in formation of complex at equivalence point. At equivalence point means at the end point, indicator, metal ion indicator which we are adding here, plus metal ion indicator will reacts with EDTA. When it happens, when all the metal has been utilized to form a metal ion complex, then there is no metal to react with EDTA. The next drop of EDTA will react with metal ion indicator and results in color change. And we'll note the burette reading. We'll calculate the amount of metal which is present in the sample. This is direct titration. In this type, in direct titrations, metals which are analyzed are copper, zinc and nickel are directly titrated with EDTA to determine the percentage or the amount of metal present in the sample. Next, we'll see the back titration method. Back titration. In this method, we will add excess of standard complexing agent. Let it be, it is EDTA, which is nothing but ligand. As it forms two or more, actually it will form 6 covalent bonds, hence it is a chelating agent. Whenever we have added excess of standard EDTA, that is ligand, to sample solution, to sample solution in which the metal ion to be analyzed. Whatever the metal ion we have to analyze, to that sample we are adding excess EDTA. So this is the sample which is having metal. So this is the, suppose let it be the metal is aluminium. We have added excess of ligand, EDTA in excess, that to known volumes. So whenever we have added the excess of EDTA to the sample, then the EDTA will react with the metal which is present in the sample and it will form a complex. So aluminium EDTA complex will form. The resulting solution will contain unreacted EDTA. So whatever the solution, the excess which has been not reacted, so the remaining EDTA is back titrated. Means the remaining EDTA is titrated with standard metal ion solution in the presence of indicator. In the presence of indicator. So those standards are zinc chloride, zinc sulfate, magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate. So all these are standard metal ion solutions. So by using these, so this is standard metal ion solution is added to the so this is metal ligand complex. The remaining blue indicates the excess ligand, that is example EDTA. So whatever the excess ligand, this is titrated with the standard metal, hence you will get the complex of, so whenever the standard zinc will form a complex. Here one thing you have to notice, suppose you have added 50 ml of EDTA to sample. And some 50 minus X is free EDTA, means the EDTA which is not reacted. The reacted is X ml of EDTA is reacted to form complex. So whatever the remaining, that is 50 minus X ml, is titrated with standard metal ion solution. Then whenever you will see the color change, then you will stop the titration and you will note the burette reading. That burette reading will give the information about how much quantity of EDTA present. So this is EDTA which is not reacted in the first step. Therefore, whatever is not reacted, if you minus both, then you will get the X ml of EDTA. This is the quantity which reacted with sample metal ion. Implies you can conclude how much quantity of metal. So amount of metal ion is determined. So this is the back titration. In this, what are the metals we can determine by using back titration are aluminium, cobalt, lead, manganese, mercury and nickel. So these can be determined by using back titration method. Next we'll see the replacement or displacement titration. In this, weak EDTA complex of another metal, let it be, the metal is WM2, M2 EDTA. This is a weak combination, weak complex. This is added. So whatever the weak metal ligand complex is there, this is added to solution of metal ion which we wanted to determine to be determined. So in this there is M2 and EDTA complex. This will be added to the metal ion which we wanted to determine. Let it be M1. As this complex is weak, whenever EDTA comes in contact with M1, then M2 EDTA will be Fred, means EDTA will be Fred and combines with M1 to form strong complex. Therefore, it results in M1 EDTA. Like this, the replacement will happen. Example, magnesium EDTA and zinc EDTA are frequently used weak EDTA complex to determine the metal ions for calcium ion. The point to be noted is the equivalent amount of metal M2 means the weak metal which is freed from the weaker complex can be titrated with standard EDTA solution. Then we are going to get how much amount of M1 is there. So this is the replacement. So this is weak metal and EDTA, that is ligand, and whenever it is added to a metal and it forms a strong complex with ligand EDTA and it is free M2 means weak metal, this is titrated with the standard EDTA. So whatever the amount is utilized, volume, you will use for calculation of amount of metal which is to be analyzed. So this is replacement method. Next is alkalimetric titrations. This method uses the principle of liberation of free H plus ions during the titration, during the complex formation. Let it be M plus N, metal which is reacted, H2Y minus means this is the ligand which is having hydrogens, will results in M1. So this is the oxidation state, and 2. These are the liberated protons. Liberated protons is titrated with standard alkali using acid base indicator or using pH meter or potentiometer. So you can calculate the how much quantity is liberated. Based on that you can predict the metal quantity of metal is determined. Next, indirect titration. Indirect titration. In this method, the ions such as halides, phosphates, sulfates, which do not form complex with EDTA are determined. So these are, we are going to determine the ions which are not forming the complex with EDTA. Means, in order to determine, suppose sulfate ion, the sulfate ion solution is treated with excess of standard solution of barium ion. So you are treating sulfate ion with excess of barium ion. Then which will results in? This results in formation of barium sulfate precipitate. This is filtered and the unreacted barium is titrated with EDTA. In this way, we are able to indirectly determine the amount of sulfate present in the sample. Plus excess barium, which results in barium sulfate precipitate, PPT. This is filtered. In this, barium sulfate is there and also excess barium is also there. This is titrated with whatever the excess is present, it is titrated with EDTA, that is complexing agent, which results in the formation of complex metal ligand complex. Then you will note the burette volume, and you will calculate M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. Then you can calculate the whatever the ions present, means here sulfate. So this is about classification of complexometric titration.